Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 diesel SE automatic. One of the first of these facelift models. Looks absolutely fantastic. Car's covered 71,000 miles. It's in really good condition. The black with this new style looks absolutely superb. I do apologise, it's a tiny bit drizzly today. It's coming and going, but I've just got to get them done when I can, so hopefully it won't impact too much. But the front of the car is really clean. Lights and lenses are clear and intact. Bonnet's very clean. Only got a microscopic little stone chip there. Near side, beautifully smooth. Can't see any obvious indentations there at all. Near side front alloy, very clean indeed. Apart from a bit of mud splash into the puddle. Side rear alloy, again, absolutely fantastic. Bumper corners, again, very clean. Again, got the new style rear end treatment with the extra chrome. Looks really good. And again, I do apologise, the wind's picked up as well, so double whammy. Offside, lovely and crisp in the panel work. Side rear alloy, again, incredibly clean. The remaining panels, very clean indeed. Likewise, final alloy. As I always say, there will be the odd tiny little blemish that I either miss or the camera doesn't spot or doesn't pick up on, but that's a very clean car. Let's come into the back of the car now. Enormous boots, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully. Let's come into the back. Enormous amounts of legroom in the back of the car, and unlike so many CR-Vs which have been very heavily used and show it, this one has been kept very well indeed. And the passenger side on the front, again, all very clean and tidy. Finally coming in on the front, again, continues the theme, very clean. Same with the footwell areas. The driver's seat itself is in superb condition. So inside the car now, as I always have, the engine's running, so the dashboard is seen illuminated. The dashboard looks in beautiful condition. As you see, radio and information display all working exactly as it should. Just pop the car into reverse, get that lovely gridded parking camera, again, all working exactly as intended, and that complements the front and rear parking sensors as well. But it has been kept very nicely. Come across the main dash binnacle there and pan in. Hopefully you can see 71,155 miles. The only warning light showing information is for the fuel light, which is currently on. So there are no warning lights while the car's driving. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 1.6 SE automatic. It's a diesel car. The car is registered, if I can read it, it's always upside down. Cracking my eyesight's appalling. FN65TCK, and with a mileage of 71,147 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, and especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's looking at any of our cars online, they actually get to see the very car advertised in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is simple. It's because, like so many people, we've been to see cars which look absolutely fine in photographs or descriptions, and then to drive the car and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up whilst driving it. So hence that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this absolutely beautiful part of Gloucestershire. I always say summer's nice when it even looks nice on a wet, horrible day, and it's certainly one of those today. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the hope is then that it'll be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, engine starts instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running at a third, which again is exactly where it's meant to be. The engines are superb engines, they really are. It's smooth and quiet in operation. Certainly kind of obviously these kind of lower speeds, lower RPMs, even Honda can't engineer that out. But they deliver really good economy, typical Honda reliability. So you know they're incredibly tough and long lasting with just good regular maintenance. But it's just a lovely engine to use day in, day out, and it works with the automatic gearbox brilliantly well. The automatic gearbox is one of these direct drive gearbox, DSG style boxes, so super quick gear shifts, very, very smooth. I think from memory it's a 9-speed gearbox, which obviously helps with economy and performance, but it's, you know, it operates, you know, all but seamlessly, you know, so the gear changes are incredibly quick, you know, quicker than you'd be in a manual car in all honesty, but it works superbly with the engine, and that's not always the case, but in this case it does. Steering on the car, again, Honda, you know, they've been doing this for years. They were one of the pioneers of kind of the SUV type vehicle, but they were one of the first to actually give you a very car-like driving experience, and the steering and the chassis is what it's all about. And what they do brilliantly. The steering is really nicely weighted. It's got kind of it's light and easy to use at low speeds, but on the move it feels weighty, it feels positive, accurate, but very, very confidence inspiring. So when you're going through the corners, you know, you feel as though you're in control of the car. It's not overly light or lifeless. It also tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed, or any speed actually up to the legal limit, but it feels really tight on the road, I have to say, really, really tight on the road. The chassis, again, you know, this type of vehicle is fundamentally a family car to run your family around in, or other people. So the design criteria is, you know, it's not a sports car. It's not meant to be. So ignore the motoring press when they say, you know, cars like this can be a bit dull to drive. They're a bit, you know, well, of course they are, you know, because they're not sports cars. But when you go through corners like that, it corners flat. Its body motion is brilliantly suppressed for the type of car it is. Quite a tall vehicle, and again, miles better than most in its class. But it still manages to give a very comfortable and very compliant ride. Worth pointing out, there's absolutely no sort of clonks or rattles coming from underneath the vehicle. All feels incredibly tight and taut underneath here. Just going to give the brakes a good shove, make sure no one's behind me. That's very good brake pedal on the car. All fine, pulls you up nice and straight and true. Finally coming inside the car, and I do apologise because obviously it's you know, it's one of these really heavy showers coming over, so it's made it quite dark. So I hope you can see clearly in here. I mean, one thing the videos can't and never can get across to you is build quality. These are brilliantly put together cars. You know, it's what is it now? Crikey, I can't think. It's too early in the morning. 7 years old, 70,000 miles, no squeaks, no rattles. Just beautifully bolted together, made out of materials that are family friendly, and what I mean by that is they take a bit of a bashing. They don't mark necessarily that easily, but they're very practical, easy to keep clean, and you're given a brilliant driving position, fantastic visibility all around the car with a low waistline, low dash line in front, so that's just a fuel light popping on, and these massive wing mirrors which all help to give you, you know, again, a lot of confidence driving the car. So if you're coming from, you know, a normal sort of hatchback car and you think, oh crikey, it's going to be a bit big and hard to drive, it's not. They are incredibly simple, just jump in and drive and feel in control of, but they also offer enormous amounts of space. I mean, I'm 6 foot. I can sit behind myself effectively in the back seat with leg room to spare. You know, they are very, very, very well laid out, all working as it should. So you got the radio, displays, and all the other information up there working perfectly. Dual zone climate control system, which can give you different temperatures side to side if you so wish. That pumps out absolutely ice cold. We checked that in a nice warm workshop earlier. All the switch gear, as with the rest of the car, is beautifully engineered. It has that lovely kind of tactile feel that Honda give you, kind of this heavy, rubbery, precise action to all of its controls, and that's very important to Honda. They work very, very hard to give you that sort of feeling with all their buttons. Dash binnacle in front is simple, legible, perfectly presented, so you just look at it, get the information, look back at the road very quickly, and then you've got this lovely sort of small diameter leather bound steering wheel, which, like the rest of the cars, in lovely condition in here. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V, so obviously not all of them are, but you don't do anything, it's automatic. So basically, you know, Honda worked out right from the outset that most people will be driving as I am today, where you don't need four-wheel drive on. So basically it runs in front-wheel drive pretty much the whole time, which is the most efficient way to pull a car along. Only when it needs to go into four-wheel drive will it do so itself. So basically, if you were to pull away on snow, mud or ice, something like that, via traction control, it kicks in the rear wheels to give you four-wheel drive seamlessly and far more quickly than you could ever react yourself. And it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant in operation. It works fantastically well. The advantages are clear over a kind of permanent four-wheel drive system. By not running the whole time, you're going to save fuel, you're going to get through your tyres far less quickly, and it puts far less mechanical stress through the vehicle as well. So much so that in nearly 3 decades selling these, Honda's using this system, I can barely remember ever putting a span on any of them, and that's tens of thousands actually over the years. So it's, you know, it is a very robust car indeed, and it drives absolutely perfectly. Cannot fault it in any way.